Today is Monday, and you know what that means. It's Manga Monday. Yeah. It's been a few weeks, but don't worry. I have a belter today, and I'm so fucking happy because it's Spy Family Volume 2. So happy this came. It was actually meant to come on Thursday, but it got delayed, and I was sad. Mostly because they sent me an email saying, oh yeah, it could be delayed till up to the end of October. I was like, fuck off. You can't do that to me, because I was literally looking forward to it all day on Thursday, just to literally get the email saying, when I finish my work, haha, you're no getting it. So anyway, we're getting into this before I just gush over how much I love this series for a million years already. So we kick off literally straight after the end of the first volume, where it ended that poor wee Anya was not accepted into the fancy pants school. And that ruins the whole fucking mission, because she needs to get into the school to basically get close to Twilight's target. So yeah, it's not all happy-dory at the beginning, because it's just a recap of shit, her number's not on the board, we didn't get in. Fuck! But don't worry, well, actually, technically at the beginning, he is Master Henderson. Yes, the fancy pants guy with the epic mustache, but absolutely just bitch slaps the headmaster's son, because, well, technically the headmaster, because he took over. But anyway, so he just comes out with a paper and he's like, oh, Mr. Forger, have a look at this note. What am I looking at? Would you notice who is on the top of this list? It's Anya. Yes, this is the waiting list. Ooh. So basically, if a kid decides that they don't want their place, which I don't understand why, but yeah, it means Anya will take their place. And it's like, yay! And then yours literally instantly thinking I just need to kill somebody's dad and it will be fine. Also, poor Anya's just looking at her like, okay, Mom. And you're honestly is a fucking badass in this. I love her so much. Honestly, it's so good. So, turns out, basically, I don't know how, but a kid basically goes, yeah, I don't want to go to the school. Well, really, it's the parents who go, nah, maybe this school isn't for them. And then, so Anya gets in. Yay! Plan's going ahead. Yay! And then, basically, Twilight gets told, yeah, so, in order to get to your target, she basically needs to be a fucking smart ass. They have, this whole kind of merit pin system, and she needs to get 8 these pins, and then she's like an ultimate elite academic, and then through that they get to beat this stupid target. And then poor Agent Twilight's just being like, I don't think that's going to happen. So he comes up with a second plan. It's like, right, his youngest son is going into the same year, we're going to befriend him. It is not that easy. Twilight finds that out very quickly as he spies on Anya on first day of school. Yay! But before they even get to school, we need to talk about the fact that yours a fucking badass, right? So, they go and get the wee fitting done, she gets her, Anya gets her uniform sorted and whatnot. Seamstress, who is a bit of a cunt, by the way, because she goes, oh yeah, so students get kidnapped and all that all the time if they're not very high elite. They especially get picked on. It's there's severe bullying, especially if you're not living on campus. It's you'll definitely get bullied. Poor Anya's freaking out. She's like, I don't want to go to the school anymore. And it's just oh, you cunt, you absolute bitch. How can you say that to a little lassie? She's even though she's maybe be 6, well, they're pretending she's 6. I'm pretty sure she ain't 6, but she's pretending to be 6. But still, saying that, oh yeah, so you're going to go to school and you're going to get picked on and you're going to get bullied because you're a poor person. But also, you might get kidnapped because you go to a fancy pants school, so clearly your parents have money. Oh my god. So after all of that, and to pick up the uniform, Anya's loving her wee dress, which is she looks adorable in. So then they go shopping because yours trying to be more like a mum, and she after that interview being like, so so what do you cook? And she's like, oh, I don't cook. And it's like, you're a terrible mum. And it's like, whoa, that guy was an absolute prick. So Yor decides, like, right, let's go to the market. I'm going to cook tonight because, well, Twilight's going to be out. Even though technically she knows him as Lloyd because that's his cover name, but I like calling him Twilight because it's a cool name. It's like, yeah, Twilight. So he's going to be out doing missions, making sure that everything's all hunky-dory. So she decides, I'm going to cook some food. And in the supermarket, she's like, I don't really know what I'm needing, so I'm going to buy, like, one of each. Like, bless her soul, honestly. She's trying so hard to be a mum, and it's adorable. And then there's this bunch of dicks outside. I'm just getting straight to the point. They see them going into the shop, and they're like, oh, look, that's an Eden student. Oh, clearly got all the money. Ka-ching. And then Anya goes outside because she's like, I'm bored, I'm going to stand outside. And like, Yor just goes, okay, I'll be out in a second, because she's literally just like paying for the food. Arseholes obviously grab the lassie, grab Anya, and just be like, oh, don't worry, little girl, we're going to get your nanny, because they think Yor is a nanny, because it's like, no, rich parents do not go out shopping. They don't get their own shopping. I'm like, okay, cool. So they're like, we'll get your nanny to pay for you, it's okay, or she'll go get your mummy. And it's like, she's freaking out because obviously in her house she's like, I'm actually getting kidnapped, this is actually happening, like, that woman was right. Oh no, it doesn't go that far, because Yor just fucking boots them. It's like, yes, queen. Oh, she just beats their fucking arses up, and it's great. She goes proper, like, assassin mode. So then, after, because it turned out basically she dropped all the food in the midst of the fight, essentially. Basically, all the food that she just bought to make some food has been ruined. And she's like, I'm trying to be a better mum, I'm a terrible mum. And then Anya's like, teach me how to fight. And it's like, she goes, maybe not the best way, but it's like, I can do something for you, yes. I will make sure that you are safe and protected. So then they go home, and Yor teaches her how to punch, and it's, literally Twilight comes in and they're just in the hall just like practicing like punches and stances and whatnot, and he just goes, good evening. So confused. So yeah, so wee bit of backstory. So then we get back to the first day, and well, it doesn't go well. Anya basically figures out knows who the target's youngest son is. He's a bit of a twat. He's a bit up himself, as you could probably imagine. And well, things don't really go that well, because she's like, I'm trying to be friends with you, and he's like, yeah, but who's your dad? It's like, is he important? Because like all these kids are like, either like their parents are in like parliament, or like they're very like high up ranks and whatnot. And it's like, also, it's very cute because she goes to say he's a spy, and it's like, he's a feelings doctor, because she can't say psychologist. I was like, oh, bless her. And it's like, oh, he's a nobody. And it's just like, excuse you. So yeah, so that puts him off in the wrong steading. And then basically she kind of stands up for herself because, well, she wants to punch him. Yor goes, nah. If somebody's mean to you, cool girls just smile it off and laugh it off. So then she does that, and she has the best, like, trolling face. She's just like, hey. It's the best face, honestly. It's just, like, smug Anya, just like, hey, yeah. And she does this for, like, several pages, while this guy's been absolute prick. Like, him and these wee pals have just been absolutely already started, like, bullying her. And she's just like, Mummy was lying. Smiling isn't great. I'm fucked. Obviously, she doesn't say that part, but, like, you know what she means. And then it gets to the point it's kind of escalating, and literally Anya turns around, sees that her teacher that's looking after them isn't really paying attention to her, and just socks someone. It's like, yes, just goes right in the face. It's like, yes. So then Twilight's like, right, you need to go apologise, and she tries to spend a whole day trying to apologise to this arsehole of a kid, because it's all his fault. So then she apologises, and then it seems like, because we twats called Damien, right? obviously you do not trust a boy called Damien in like stories generally, because obviously the devil's got little Damien, who is clearly having a little bit of a little crush on her. Oh, but obviously being a young boy, being like, no, 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 that's it's like, nah, I do not accept your apology. Twilight's like, I'm gonna fucking murder this kid. So then it's back to the panic of, fuck, she needs to be an academic person. You're not doing these you're not gonna watch your spy show until you do these fractions. Which was actually kind of sad, that wee scene. It's like, no, you need to be able to do fractions. Why can't you understand? And then Anya's trying to cheat by like, I'll just read Daddy's mind. And then he's going through like his whole like mission log on his head, and it's like, so, and it's like, she's just like, I can't get anything, Mommy, Mama, this one. And then she's like, oh, so that happens. Oh, right, okay, so it's in fifth, right, okay. So if I think if I do it with body parts, and it's like, I need to ask, why do you instantly think of like body parts like that you've cut up from like murder victims, like to try and do fractions? So then, because Anya is like freaking out, like it's just like, fractions is too much for me. So then she gets a wee bit upset. She goes into her bedroom, locks the door, and like basically doesn't come out again. Twilight goes in and says, right, I'm going to talk to her, I'm going to apologise, I'm going to let her watch her wee show kind of thing. Like, I realise being too hard, because you're basically turns out to be the voice of reason, which is fantastic. Just being like, oh yeah, so my brother was like this, and da 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 da. Twilight goes in and sees that she's been studying on by herself, and it's like, she's trying so hard, because obviously she knows that if this all fucks up, she's basically going to be going back to the orphanage, and she doesn't want that. She likes her little messed up family of a spy as a dad and an assassin as a mum. Even if it's a wee bitty fake. The whole lovely message of this volume is that both Yor and Twilight are coming to the grips of like they should be more like a mum and a dad, even though like it is fake. Like they're trying to improve themselves just for the sake of Anya, and it's like, it's so cute, so cute. Oh. But then we have the major plot twist of this whole volume is through the introduction of talking about the younger brother, we actually meet the younger brother. It's like, okay, and he's like, looks like a nice wee guy, nice and adorable. Oh no. Turns out he is on the opposite side. So he is part of the secret police that are basically part of this organisation that go after people like Twilight. Like, oh my god, this is actually happening. So he actually is like so brutal. Like they capture one of the guys that have been given Twilight intel, like with documents and whatnot. They capture him, they take him out. And so they send him, like, the brother in, and he's like, do you know? Because he's also just found out that Yor's been married. Oops, she forgot to tell him. And he's like, my sister's been married, and I'm going to go meet her. But, like, I need you to tell me everything you know. What do you know about Twilight? And it's like, oh, shit. And then basically just goes, like, you see, I didn't really want to do this, but... boom, just like absolutely destroys this guy, and he's like, I need to do what is right by like my country and for my sister. I need to make sure my sister is safe. So clearly he doesn't know that she's an assassin, and obviously she clearly doesn't know that he is like a secret, like part of a secret organization. Like, my god, what is with this family that just ends up being absolutely brutal killers? But he comes in as like big bunch of flowers and everything, and it's like, hi. But like both like Twilight's thinking, fuck, she's got a brother, and it's like, how's this going to work out? Because the more he's closer, he's going to realise that this is all fake. And like the brother is like, oh yeah, Yuri, sorry, I should realise he's called Yuri. And he's like, I need to make sure that my sister is safe, because clearly, why would she not tell me that they've been married for over a year? Clearly something's up with them. And it's like, oh no. And that's how it ends, with them meeting. It's like, fuck, and now I need to wait till December. And if my pre-order's correct, it's coming on Christmas Eve. Oh, but yeah, so that's Spy Family Volume 2. We'll be back in December for Volume 3. Hopefully, all going well. I don't want any delays. Because I'll be very upset, but because it's Christmas, I wouldn't be actually surprised if it's delayed. At least by a couple of days anyway, kind of like maybe like this. Hopefully not. And I'm now so excited for December. That is the only thing I'm excited for. I don't want Christmas, I just want this. Oh well, until next Manga Monday. I made you, I did something to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.